Hello everybody, it's Emery48 here and welcome back to another episode of Whovian Wednesdays. We are continuing the Patrick Troughton era with Season 6. Now this one did have a good batch of episodes that were actually there. It was the least, I believe, of his era that had things missing, which is very nice. I really enjoy Patrick Troughton. We had a good set of consistent and steady and fun companions that were in most of, if not all, of the previous season and this whole season with Jamie and Zoe. So that trio worked really well. I had a lot of fun. I thought the villains were great throughout this season as well. We kind of stepped away from a lot of Cybermen. I feel like previous seasons of Doctor Who really hit Cybermen like a lot, sometimes twice in a season, which is fine. I like the Cybermen. Seeing early versions of them is fun, but getting different villains in is also nice. And I understand the reasoning behind it, right? I mean, low budget show, so when you already have the costumes ready, just go with that again. That's fine. The writing in this season was again good. I think the writing for Patrick Troughton was very good. In general, I think the acting was overall very good. I just like the season. We, I believe, get our first mentions of Time Lord and Gallifrey, even going to Gallifrey, which I was not expecting. That's very cool. And we get early version of a sonic screwdriver utilized, which I can really appreciate. It's one thing I wanted to see in these seasons is like the impact of the sonic screwdriver. Obviously a big part of each Doctor in the reboot, as you would. So it's nice to see where it comes from. I really don't understand why he's pictured with the clarinet or the recorder. Unless every episode that's missing, he uses it. I think it's mentioned once and I don't see him play it. He airplays a recorder at one point. I don't think I ever saw him play the thing. So I don't understand that. But aside from that, this season has solidified Patrick Troughton as currently my favorite. Right now there's only two so far, Patrick Troughton and William Hartnell. And for me, he was just a significantly better Doctor. Let's dive in to the episodes in Season 6. We start with the Dominators arc, which is a 5-episode arc. And in these seasons where there's episodes missing, I don't really like to say the episode number in terms of the season because I feel like BritBox is sometimes a little off, or it has been in the past. So I just say the arc and then the episodes within the arc. Episode 1. We are on Dulcus, and there are invading humanoids that kill 3 marooned humanoids. Dr. Jamie and Zoe arrive, and the marooned vessel is destroyed. The Doctor group finds a research lab with the same humanoid group as those marooned. The Doctor and Jamie explore the invaders' ship and have weapons pointed at them at the end of the episode. Episode 2, Zoe heads to the capital to speak with Dulcus' leader, while the Dominators hold Doctor and Jamie captive. Doctor and Jamie fake dumb to appear useless as less of a threat. The Doctor and Jamie head to the capital, and Zoe returns to the island. Episode 3, Dulcians and Zoe captured by Dominators. Doctor and Jamie return to the island. The Doctor is recaptured, and Jamie is with the escaped Dulcian. The one thing I will say about these episodes is it's very caught, uncaught, caught, uncaught, caught, uncaught. And it feels very repetitive, where it's like, oh, we escaped, but we got about 3 inches away and get recaptured. It's kind of funny. Like, it just is kind of funny at times. We have episode 4, a failed Dominator Q. More Dulcians are killed by Dominators. Episode 5, Jamie breaks out the Doctor and Zoe. First sonic screwdriver appearance that I have been able to see. The Doctor places the Dominator's bomb on their own ship, eliminating the Dominators and saving Dulcus. And this really showcases, I guess, the violence of the early Doctors. In the new show, there's a lot of regret towards violence and trying to solve things peacefully and not killing. The early Doctors really don't care. And I find that very fun. Like, it's a very different vibe of the show, and it should be a different vibe because it's 50 years earlier. We then have The Mind Robber, a 5-episode arc. Episode 1. It has a color thumbnail, but it was not in color. The TARDIS is buried in lava, trying to leave Dulcus. They utilize an emergency button to escape. Jamie and Zoe leave the TARDIS after it lands, thinking they are in each of their homes. But they are in a world of nothing. Jamie and Zoe are captured by robots, luring the Doctor out of the TARDIS. He breaks them out of mind control back into the TARDIS. All three are taken under mind control while inside the TARDIS, which explodes. The fact that much came out of a 20-minute episode, like, these episodes are good. Like, genuinely good television. Episode 2, Jamie's face changes. The Master is behind all of this, and a unicorn charges at the Doctor, Jamie, and Zoe. Episode 3, Jamie's face is restored, and he is split from the Doctor and Zoe, facing mythical creatures and fictional characters. Episode 4, the group is reunited and they meet the Master. He is a puppet power for higher intelligence. Jamie and Zoe are in danger. So I don't think this was the actual Time Lord Master. He was just called the Master. Episode 5, group escapes after Doctor outsmarts the intelligence. Then we move on to an 8-episode arc titled The Intelligence. Episode 1, a cartoon recreation. We have a missile fired at the TARDIS from the moon. A rough landing on Earth, electronics company controlling London. Jamie and the Doctor go investigate the company, leaving Zoe behind. Doctor and Jamie are captured. Episode 2, Doctor and Jamie are let go, captured by a new group, brought in to advise the military. A soldier from the Yeti storyline is leading unit. Zoe and other women goes to company searching for the Doctor and Jamie. Zoe and the friend are captured. Doctor and Jamie return to the company. The people inside have superhuman strength. Zoe and Isabel are unconscious. The Doctor and Jamie are captured. Episode 3, the Doctor and Jamie escape. And then there's some episodes like that, where almost nothing happens other than one thing important, and then a lot of dialogue. Episode 4, it's a cartoon recreation. I have to say, this is great. The more cartoon recreations we can do, and I know that takes a lot of effort out of the BBC, but especially in these arcs where you have some of the episodes, it's nice to fill in the gaps with the cartoons. The Doctor and Jamie rescue Zoe and Isabel, and the Doctor and Jamie discover Cybermen in one of the company's London buildings. Episode 5, Jamie, Zoe, Isabel go to find proof of Cybermen, and they get it, but are surrounded. Episode 6, they get the proof and are rescued by UNIT, who freeze Isabel's father, a scientist. Then the Cybermen launch their invasion. Episode 7, Jamie is shot in the leg, but is okay. Zoe shoots down Cybermen reinforcements from space with a missile. Episode 8, the Russians shoot down the Cybermen spaceship. UNIT shoots down the Cybermen bomb. The Crotons is a 4-episode arc, and we start with episode 1. Crotons take 2 non-Earth humans, killing them. The Crotons stay inside of a computer. Episode 2, the Doctor and Zoe enter the Croton lair, and they are robots. They escape. Jamie goes in after them, not knowing they left already. Episode 3, the Doctor and Zoe are recaptured, and they escape before being brought back to base. The Doctor trapped by a collapse caused by humans attempting to attack the Crotons. Episode 4, Jamie escapes. The Doctor and Zoe are recaptured, and they sabotage the Crotons, destroying them. The Seeds of Death is a 6-episode arc. In Episode 1, the TARDIS arrives at Future Earth Space Museum. A moon base is under attack. Episode 2, Scaly Helmet Aliens are the villain in this one. The Doctor, Zoe, and Jamie take a rocket to the moon. Episode 3, they are the Ice Warriors from Mars. The Doctor is captured and knocked out. Episode 4, Jamie frees the Doctor, but the Ice Warriors think he died. Zoe is captured. Episode 5, Zoe escapes. Doctor, Jamie, and Zoe return to Earth. Episode 6, the Ice Warriors' ship is sent to the sun instead of the moon by the Doctor, thwarting their invasion. The next arc is the Space Pirates arc, which is missing. And we finish this season with a 10-episode arc called The War Games. Episode 1, the Doctor, Zoe, Jamie arrive at the front lines of World War I. There is a memory issue seemingly controlled by the General, who sentences Jamie and Zoe to prison and the Doctor to execution for spying. The Doctor is lined up in front of a firing squad. Episode 2, Sniper kills the firing squad, allowing Doctor and Zoe to escape. The General controls memory of others with his glasses. Doctor and Zoe break out Jamie, then the trio are re-arrested. Dr. Zoe, Jamie recruit 2 allies. The General knows the 5 of them know he has been communicating with someone. Very advanced tech beyond World War I. He orders artillery fired on an ambulance that they fled in. They escape unharmed, traveling through a force field into a time without the war, to a battle hundreds of years prior. Episode 3, they return to World War I, leaving a Roman battle 2,000 years prior. Dr. Jamie, Zoe are captured by Germans this time. And the sonic screwdriver comes back out and is used to prove they are not spies. A German captain is utilizing the same mind control as the English general. Dr. Jamie and Zoe are sentenced to execution by firing squad. They re-escape, and the group travels to 1862 in the American Civil War. Their military ally is captured by Confederate soldiers, while allowing the rest to carry on. Jamie and the ambulance driver is separated when Doctor and Zoe enter one of the villain's time machines. Episode 4, Jamie and Jennifer are captured by the Union and taken by Confederates. They are then freed by a Confederate soldier the mind control does not work on. Both are recaptured and re-rescued. Zoe is captured by a reprogrammed British ally. The Doctor is on the run. Episode 5, the Doctor frees the Brit and Zoe. Jamie is ambushed and knocked out with some kind of sonic weapon and captured. Episode 6, we have Time Lords mentioned for, I believe, the first time in the show. Episode 7, the War Chief is a Time Lord and feels like he must be the Master, but it's never really explicitly named. The Warlord has arrived. Jamie, Doctor, and the Brit are in the Roman War and move back to World War II. They are then captured. None of this is taking place on Earth. The humans are being used for a war game. Zoe and the Resistance break out the Doctor, Jamie, and the Brit. The Doctor is captured and taken back to Central Command. Episode 8, the War Chief wants to gain power, betray the Warlord, and become the Galactic Emperor. Doctor sets a trap, getting Zoe, Jamie, Brit, and Resistance leaders captured. Episode 9, the Doctor frees the group. The War Chief turns on the Warlord for now, and they take control of the security command room. The Doctor then calls the Time Lords for help, and the War Chief is killed. Now, if he is a Time Lord, he should be able to regenerate, and he was dragged off as a corpse, so I'm assuming that happens off camera, if he is indeed the Master. The Time Lords arrive. Episode 10, the Doctor Jamie and Zoe attempt to flee before seeing the Time Lords, but the TARDIS is brought to Gallifrey by the Time Lords. The War Chief breaks out and captures the Doctor, Zoe, and Jamie, and they all board the TARDIS. Dr. Zoe and Jamie escape back to the Time Lords, and the War Chief and his guards are erased by the Time Lords. Their planet is put under lockdown, not allowing any of their people to leave and expand to the rest of the universe ever again. The Doctor faces a trial. The Time Lords return Zoe and Jamie to their original times, and the Time Lords exile the Doctor to Earth without a TARDIS, and he is forced to regenerate, which is the end of the Patrick Troughton era. We never actually see the next Doctor, so we will get Jon Pertwee in season 7. And he is supposedly going to be exiled on Earth without a TARDIS. So we'll see if he is actually sans TARDIS, which would be a very interesting twist for the show. As I said at the start of this video, I did really enjoy this season, and I enjoyed the heck out of a Patrick Troughton era. And I hope that we can continue the positive growth in the show with Jon Pertwee. And it looks like it should be in color in season 7, which will be a nice adjustment from 6 seasons of black and white. Let me know your thoughts on Doctor Who in the comments down below, especially anything Patrick Troughton. Thank you everybody so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.